Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of my Blinded by the Flights series. This is how I've celebrated Bourbon Heritage Month this year on the channel, and I am so excited to finish off with a blind flight of Barrell. So this one has been one that I'm not really sure how it's going to go because these whiskeys are all so different. In the past, we've been comparing different batches of Larceny, batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and batches of Remus. But tonight we are comparing 4 completely different whiskeys, but blind, and we're going to find out which one I like best. So the goal is not necessarily to find out which one is which, because I think I'm going to know, maybe. We'll see. I could be completely wrong. But I think the ultimate goal tonight is to find out which one is my favorite barrel of their ongoing releases. So I'm going to go through each of these tonight. I'm going to tell you what they are before we get started. In case you're not familiar, there is some new barrel here that we're going to be drinking. But some of these you guys are very familiar with. Of course, with all of the Blinded by the Flights live streams, I'm going to be giving away a sample set at the very end of the stream because of the Wheel of Whiskey. So if you guys want to get in on that, you can leave every $5 super chat gets you 1 entry on the wheel, and then we will spin the wheel at the end of the show. So if you want to do your own blind flight at home, I'm going to send them blind to you. So I'm going to send you a key in the box, and then you'll be able to do your own blind flight, or you could just look at the key if you don't really want to do it blind. But it's up to you, however you want to do it. But first, I want to give a couple shout outs to folks here in the chat. If you are watching the replay, feel free to skip around. I'm going to put time codes at the bottom telling you what is what. If you don't want spoilers, don't read that because it's going to tell you what's what. So just heads up for those watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, make sure to hit the thumbs up if you are excited about any of these releases or you want to hear my thoughts about it. And if you're watching it live, hit the thumbs up too because I appreciate all of y'all. But while I say that, let me go ahead and say hello to you. Zofer said barrel roll today. Well, you're not the only one that thought of that. I'm wearing my Do a Barrel Roll shirt, which you can find at bourbonbites.threadless.com. That along with some other merch. I think there's actually a merch sale. I don't know if it's going on right now, but there's a Threadless sale. I think it might still be going on. So if you want to get shirts, I think they're like $12. So if you're curious about that, check it out, bourbonbites.threadless.com. Donnie says, mash that like button, click subscribe, and ring the bell, and make sure to hit all notifications. That way you don't miss all of these live streams. Like I said, this is the end of Blinded by the Flights, but there's still going to be more live streams coming soon. So thank you for that, Donnie. Brandon's in the house. Good to see you, Brandon. Donner Pass, good to see you. I feel like you usually come in a bit later, so I appreciate you coming in a bit early tonight. Whiskey Mountains, Adriana, y'all make sure to check out her channel. She's really amazing and does some incredible stuff on her channel. Whiskey Dick says, oh, come on, Cliffy, get going. Bill, I was literally watching your stream to make sure you wrapped up. As soon as you wrapped up, I clicked go live. So there's a little bit of a delay, but I totally was watching you. So what's up? Alexander's in the house. Good to see you. Sam Does. I think it's the first time seeing you in the chat. Welcome. Fantastic. I'd love to benchmark the Vantage and Armida against the Seagrass and Dovetail I've sampled before. Well, that's what we're all about tonight. That's exactly what we're doing. So you came for the right show. Good to see you, Sam. Nick is here as well. Good to see you, Nick. Adam Free. Howdy. How you doing? Don Nishida from Hawaii. Ben Hernandez. Marcus, new subscriber here. Whiskey Dick sent me. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Bill, for sending people over. I don't think he says I'm the nicest whiskey tuber. I don't know. Cliffy is, not Clifton. Clifton's a bitch. Just kidding. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. Women of Whiskey is another incredible whiskey tube channel here. Yeah, awesome. Great to see some of you new people here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you do enjoy the show tonight, make sure to hit the subscribe button and come back. I'm live every Thursday night right after Bill. So I'll go on at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So every Thursday night, I'll see you here. So thank y'all for tuning in. And hello, Joseph. All right. So like I said, we have 4 different barrels that we're drinking tonight. I'm actually starting off with something not part of the flight. So I actually poured myself, while I was watching Bill's stream, I poured me some of the Barrell New Year. Like I said, this is another release. This is a 115.34 proof bourbon. Just want to get myself familiar. Now, this is a blend of Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Wyoming, New York, and Texas whiskey. So it's a bit extreme, but hey, it'll set my palate for these that we're going to be trying here soon. It's definitely like, even though it's all those different parts to a whiskey, it drinks just very cohesively, and it drinks like, if you told me that was just a Kentucky bourbon, I'd believe you. And I think that's where really Barrell really shines. I think they're some of the best when it comes to blending whiskey. And I know that they have the private barrel releases. They have different batches throughout the year. But the ones we're going to be doing in the flight tonight are going to be their ongoing releases. So these are permanent additions to their lineup. One of these is brand new. I actually have batch 1 of it, and that's the Vantage. I did a review of it I don't know if it was last week or the week before. But yeah, this is the full lineup here. So I'll guide you through each of these, what we'll be drinking tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one we have here is a classic. Probably one of the first barrel releases that kind of got really popular. Oh, this is difficult to show you because I have this, by the way, this is not real behind me, believe it or not. But this is Barrell Dovetail. So this one is a whiskey finished in rum, port, and Dun Vineyards Cabernet barrels. This one comes in at 124.7 proof, so it's high proof. Now it does say whiskey, so that makes me think there's maybe some light whiskey in here, maybe some rye whiskey, but it's not listed as a bourbon. So that is Dovetail. Sorry, I realize I'm like a little out of focus here. I think it's whenever I hold things up to the lens. So that's going to be one of the ones in the flight. Like I said, it's going to be blind, so I don't know what is what. Next up is Barrell Armida. Now this one is kind of not controversial, but this one is one that people struggle with. So this one is a bourbon whiskey finished in pear, brandy, rum, and Sicilian Amaro casks. Now this one comes in at 113.54 proof, so it's lower proof. Now the reason this kind of gets some flack is it is distilled in Tennessee. So this is a Tennessee whiskey. Some people say that it has a very minerally Flintstones vitamin tasting note. I sometimes get that, I sometimes don't. So we'll see tonight if I can pull out the Tennessee whiskey in this flight. Next up, we have my number 1 whiskey of last year. I'm not going to hide that fact. I literally voted this as my favorite whiskey of last year, and I know it's not going to show up on camera because it's a beautiful blue and green label. You saw it in the thumbnail. This is Barrell Seagrass. This one is a rye whiskey finished in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. Comes in at 119.12 proof, and this is distilled in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Canada. However, it is a rye whiskey, meaning it's at least 51% rye in that mash bill. And lastly, we have the brand new release from Barrell Craft Spirits, and that is Barrell Vantage. Like I said, I reviewed this recently on my podcast, which, by the way, you guys didn't know, I just wrapped up season 1 of my podcast. I did full 50 episodes. It was a ton of fun. If you missed that, you can watch it. It's definitely still relevant, even if you're listening to it a year later. Go back through that. You're looking for a quick commute. It's only about 20 to 30 minutes per episode. Some are even less than that. Definitely get caught up on that because I've done some really unique reviews that I have not done on the channel. But Barrell Vantage is one of those. So this one is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizunara, French, and toasted American oak casks. This one comes in at 114.44 proof and is distilled in Indiana, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So, a lot of similarities between these, but also some very, very big differences. So we're going to see not only which one I like best, but also if I can actually figure out which one's which. I claim to have a good palate. I claim to be pretty good at telling what's what, but we'll find out blind. By the way, I don't think I mentioned what Dovetail was. Dovetail is distilled in Indiana and Tennessee. So no Kentucky whiskey in Barrell Dovetail. So are y'all excited? I'm excited. Like I said at the top of the stream, I will be doing a giveaway at the very end of the stream. So every $5 super chat, you'll win 1 ounce of every single one of these. And I might throw in, you know what? I'm going to throw in a challenge coin. I haven't done that in a while. So you'll get 1 ounce of all of these in a blind flight, customized with a key just for you. You'll also get a Bourbon Bites challenge coin, which are metal. They fit on top of your Glencairn glass. The back says no mash value. The front has my logo there. So if you want a chance to win this along with the flight, get your super chats in. Every $5 is an entry. So, y'all ready to do this blind flight? I am. I'm so excited. Just make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. You can read the label if you hold it steady. Yeah, the ones with the green labels, I didn't even try. Whiskey Nose, Marty, and Jenny is in the house. Good to see y'all. Hope y'all doing well. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Adriana. Haven't had Armida, but love Dovetail. Well, Armida is the Tennessee one, so we'll see. You know what? This is a brand new bottle of Dovetail. I did try it a little bit recently, just because I hadn't had it in forever. But everything else I've had in my collection. It's also a new bottle of Seagrass, but it's actually my 3rd bottle of Seagrass. Dovetail, I've only had a sample of before. I've never had a full-size bottle, so I'm glad to finally have a full bottle of it. If you're curious about the batch of Seagrass, like I said, this is a brand new bottle. This is batch 5. So, have not had this batch of Seagrass. Maybe that'll make the difference. Maybe I won't be able to pull it out. Yeah. So, y'all ready to get into this blind flight? Because I sure am. Let me have another sip of the New Year 2022 Barrel. But while I do that, let me know what you guys are drinking on. Y'all drinking Barrel tonight? Or y'all drinking Scotch, bourbon? Let me know. I know Bill was drinking on some really cool stuff on his stream. So, Donnie is asking, what is the batch of Dovetail? Good question. This is. Ooh, do they not put it in the same spot? Donnie, I don't remember how we're supposed to find what batch Dovetail is. I know they hide like the batches on the bottle. So the Seagrass is hidden in the very corner, so I can see that batch. Armida is in the corner, and Vantage is also in the corner. So for Dovetail, do they put it in a different location, or did I just miss it? Oh, you know what? It's there. So it actually is. I'll show you in a second. Let me just tilt this down so you can see my wonderful shirt. All right, so you can see the batch here, but it's Hold on, let me pull back the magic curtain for a second because I want y'all to see where the batch number is hidden. Let me just fix this. Okay, so if y'all are curious where the batches are, they are in the top right corner. Now this one was hard to see, which you'll see why. It's batch 11. So the 11 is hidden like between where the dark blue and the light blue meet on the far right side. It looks like two little like knocks on that thing, so that's why it's hard to see. But like, I'll show you Dovetail since we got the green screen off. So here is wrong side. So there you see like you see on Seagrass it says batch 5. Like it's kind of hard to see, but it's hard to see because it's a little dark. But that does say batch 5. So that's where the batches are on the Barrell products. So all right. Back to the studio here. Just want to show you guys. Oop. Is that glitching for you guys, or is that just me? Because it did that earlier, and I think it fixes itself. It just fixed itself. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the flashing? I think it's a StreamYard issue because I've not seen that before tonight. So apologies for that. Hopefully everything's still good for right now. Where did the bar go? What bar? Oh, behind me. Marcus says, I am in Thailand. It is 9 a.m. and I am drinking coffee, but we'll be drinking some Ardbeg 16 tonight. Ardbeg 16? Do we even get that in the U.S.? I don't think so. That's awesome. Well, thank you for watching from Thailand. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's not making you too thirsty this early in the morning, but I appreciate you watching. What's up, Zopher? Good to see you. I think you were here already. I think you left a message and it came back. Whiskey Mountain said the seagrass is hardest for me to see. I had to take a picture of the grass and then zoom in on it. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Women of Whiskeys, Michelle and Kathy Joe, just dropping in to say hello. We'll catch the replay. If I win, give them to Marcus, your new subscriber. Well, I don't know if I can necessarily get this hand delivered to Thailand, but thank you for the sentiment, Michelle. Maybe we can figure something out, but thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, and good to see you. Didn't see the flashing. Okay, cool. So it must have just been on my end. That's good, because it looked really bad. All right. It's not shipped. It's hand delivered, Joseph. We don't do shipping here on the channel. We hand deliver every single bottle. Next day, hand delivery. All right, not next day, like 3 days, but still. All right. Last sip of the new year, and then we're going for the blind flight. Solid bourbon. I really like that one. All right. Y'all ready for a blind? Let's start with our first one. Now, y'all know with these blind flights, I always name them based on video game characters or pop culture characters. Last week we did the Houses of Hogwarts, so lots of different things we do. But tonight, with the theme of barrel, with the Do a Barrel Roll shirt, we are going Donkey Kong Country. So the flight in front of me tonight is Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Cranky Kong. So we'll go taste through each of these. That way I don't get confused by saying A batch, B batch, C batch, or I don't say 1 is my number 2, 2 is my number 3. We're doing Donkey, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky. So gotta stay on brand with the barrels. Oops, Thailand. Maybe another first time watcher. Sounds good, Michelle. Cheers to you. No worries, Marcus. Yeah, I do have to hand deliver only in the United States just because legalities. But I appreciate you watching. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show though. No, not Star Fox tonight. I've done Star Fox before, but I wanted to go with barrels because Donkey Kong, the barrels, and Donkey Kong Country. It's a loose relation. I know this is based off of Star Fox, but the shirt was because of Barrell, and just stick with it, okay? It's my show. Just kidding. You know what? I thought about doing Funky Kong and Candy Kong, but I only have 4 samples. So Funky and Candy were my next up. What's up, Stacy? Good to see you. 4-Leaf Whiskey. Y'all check out that if you want to see some amazing Irish whiskey reviews. Good to see you, Stacy. All right. Let's get started with Donkey Kong, which is our first whiskey tonight. Like I said, I'm not necessarily figuring out which one is which, although I will be trying to do that. But I'll also be ranking which one is my favorite. So, like I said, if you win the blind flight, you'll get to do it yourself, and let me know which one is your favorite if you're watching the replay. All right, let's go ahead and give Donkey Kong a nose. This is going to get real weird, but we're going to go with it. Okay, not too much is coming off the nose. Now, these are all pre-poured. They have had challenge coins sitting on top of them. So they have not been exposed to the air. However, this one's not really jumping out of the glass. It has kind of a little bit of like a... It has like a tartness to it. And I don't necessarily know if that's like a... coming from like an oak, like a wood finishing, maybe like the Vantage. Or is it coming from the whiskey itself? You know, is it maybe the Tennessee whiskey shining through here? On the nose, really, there's not much going on, which I'm surprised. Now, it is the first one. Y'all know we got to come back through. Once I do the tasting all the way through, I'm going to go back through A, B, compare them, and then rank them. So it's going to get another shot. But let's go ahead and taste Donkey Kong. Interesting. On the palate, it's very different. It still has that tanginess, and I'm almost getting it like an orange. Not even like an orange zest, like an orange slice. Kind of like when you have an old fashioned at like a bar that doesn't necessarily know how to make old fashions, they put like a whole like orange wedge in it. Kind of getting some of that aspect on this, which is interesting because I can't think of any of these that I think I've gotten that note on before. So I'm already getting confused with this first one we're trying tonight. But like beyond that, I'm trying to see what else unique about this one I can pull out. Again, I can't compare it to the others because I haven't tried the others yet. So let me have one quick little more sip of that. Try it again. Yeah, it's definitely orange. A lot of orange influence. You know, I would even guess like an orange curacao finished whiskey. I know there's a thing. I know like I know Heaven Hill, the Parker's Heritage, had a curacao finished one that was really good. But that's kind of what this is reminding me of, which is interesting because none of these are curacao finished. So that one's got me really intrigued. I'm really liking Donkey. I'm going to have to come back to him and see what I think of him compared to the others. I want to just make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Oh, wow. I love how y'all are so chatty tonight. DMC Kentucky's here. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Candy Kong is a hoo-ha. Chris says, good day. We'll be out drinking in Chicago with Tim Evans, Will O'Neill, and Derek Pattern. Yes, Derek is real and does exist. It is noisy here, so cannot stay. Have a good one, people. Hey, well, cheers to Chris, Tim, Will, Derek. I appreciate all y'all for what you do across Whiskey Tube, but hope y'all are having a wonderful night hanging with the Aussies. I sure did in Vegas. Funky would have been Armida, maybe. Brandon. Oh, okay. I was like, what do you mean, Brandon? I think you're talking to Stacy, though. Like, I'm so confused. You've met us several times. Adam says, sipping on Seagrass Batch 1, only barrel I have that's on the flight. Well, Seagrass is one of my favorite. It was my number one whiskey of last year because I thought it was innovative. I thought it was creative, and it just was unlike any other rye whiskey I've ever had. So Seagrass is always earns a top spot. I'm on my 3rd bottle, if that tells you anything. But Batch 1, that's pretty crazy. That's awesome. Is it kind of pink? It's the Armida. Color-wise, I'm looking at all of these. My desk isn't that well lit. Sort of. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'll have to compare it to the others. I can't tell if it's pink enough to be able to tell from that. Are the Seagrass batches that different from each other? I got batch 2. It's almost impossible to see the batch number hidden in the grass on the right-hand side. So they are different in terms of the fact that they are, the whiskeys that are sourced for it are sometimes like a little bit of a different configuration. They're all the same finishing. They all use the same rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. It's just you might be getting a different batch. So maybe there's a little bit more of a Canadian whiskey in there versus a little bit more of a Indiana rye whiskey. So those do vary, a little bit, but they're not trying to make them different. They're trying to make them a consistent flavor profile. So Seagrass should always taste like Seagrass. Armida should taste like Armida. Vantage should taste like Vantage. And Dovetail should taste like Dovetail. So I don't think it's intentionally different. But of course, if you are a bit of a whiskey aficionado, you might be able to pick out subtle differences there. What's up, Nimrax? Good to be on. Hey, good to see you. There's so many new folks that I haven't seen on the live streams, but I'm so glad to see y'all. Andrew is here from Vegas. Cheers to you, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Man, so many amazing folks tonight. If y'all have not yet subscribed and y'all want to come back, I'm here every week, every Thursday night. Of course, and there's the giveaway, so don't forget about the giveaway. You can win a blind flight of all of these whiskeys. That's a good point. Brandon says the proof changes between the batches. Yeah, the proof is a variable for sure. Thank you for reminding me of that, Brandon. Steven is in the chat, interested to see an outcome of this. Me too. I can't wait to see what this is. All right, let's move on to Diddy Kong. This is our second one here. By the way, this one I do have a blind barrels Glen here. So, oh, come on, my focus. It sees my face behind it. Oh well, it's a monkey. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's a monkey. It's on brand. Come on, there we go. So this is Diddy Kong. Ooh, a lot more going on the nose. I can tell you right now, this has a better nose than Donkey. It has a sweetness, and it's a rum sweetness. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm telling which one this is, because remember, do three of these have a rum finish? 3 of these have a rum finish. The Dovetail, the Seagrass, and the Armida all have rum as part of their finish. So, there's no telling which one this is. I can't tell other than the fact that it smells sweet on the nose. I can't necessarily tell which one this is. I'm leaning towards a rye. I think that the sweetness from the rum is also kind of complemented by like a bit of an herbal note, which I would associate with a rye. But still can't really tell on the nose. Let's give it a try. Cheers. That's a rye. I think that's my number 1 whiskey of the year from last year. It has such a interesting twist on any rye whiskey I've ever had. It hits you with like the spicy herbalness up front, but then it has that really sweet element from the rum finish that's complemented by that like apricot brandy, which apricot brandy is not something I'd ever had before, but it's such an interesting flavor profile that it makes me want to go buy some apricot brandy just to see what the heck that's all about, because it gives it such a really cool, like, I don't want to say vegetable note because that's weird, but it gives it a little bit of like a funkiness, like almost like not like a Jamaican rum funkiness, but I mean, there is, to be fair, that is a Martinique rum, so it does have a funky rum in there too, so I could be getting a little bit of that, but it almost is more of like I don't want to say Brussels sprouts, because again, that's really weird and off profile, but when you combine it with a rye whiskey, it just works. I don't know how, it just works. So I'm pretty sure Diddy is Dovetail. Nimrak says, I never win, but putting in for the cause, and just because Cliffy is awesome. Oh, well, thank you that. Well, you never know. You are entered into tonight's Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. I said super chats because I was making sure my bot was working, making sure we're counting all the entries here, and it is. Y'all have all been entered so far, so yeah, I really like Diddy Kong. It's just everything I really like about what Barrell does best, which is the blending. Sam says, I've had Seagrass twice, and it's just a 1-2 punch every time with the spice and fruit. Yeah, it's so different. It's so different. Why am I losing my voice? That's weird. Let me get some water. What the heck? Seagrass, what are you doing to me? Better? Okay, we're better. A little bit. Yeah, so that one's so different from all the other ones, but we got to work our way through the flight. We're going to not necessarily figure out what they all are, but we're going to figure out which one's my favorite. So, all right, let's move on to everyone's favorite Kong, Dixie Kong. No, that's not everyone's. Okay, tell me your favorite Donkey Kong character in the chat. Go. I think, honestly, I like Cranky Kong. I think I like just like grumpy old man, like, I don't know. I just love him. I love his little cane, too. I like Candy Kong. I don't know. Something about her. I want to be Candy Kong. All right. Let's go ahead and give this one a nose. This one is Dixie Kong. A little bit of that orange is coming back. Some of the orange that I was getting on the donkey. I'm almost wondering if that's coming from a certain whiskey that's in the blend. You know, maybe a certain whiskey is giving it kind of that bit of an orange. It's weird because it's not like an orange zest. It's like a sweet orange fruit. That I will say, this is what I wanted Donkey to smell like. Donkey has a really great palate, but it has kind of like a mediocre nose. This one has a really great nose. Let's see how it is on the palate. Cheers. A bit minerally. I'm pretty sure that's the Armida. Armida is one that, like, if I'm in the right mood for it, I could drink it. It's just very, very much. It's less of like when I say minerally, it's less of like the vitamin note that I think a lot of people get with Diggle, but it's more of like a limestone or like a, not that I go around licking rocks or anything, but like it kind of tastes like being in a cave. And I've said this before, but there's a certain element of like being around a bunch of like wet rocks that I'm kind of getting on this, kind of like a little bit of that minerality there. It's not quite, like I said, not quite as like bitter and tart as like the Flintstones vitamin note, but mm. By the way, there's a football game going on next to me, so I apologize for any bands you hear or any buzzers. If it's not an explosion happening next door, it's a football game. Oh, y'all's favorite Kongs. Let's see. Donnie's is King Kong. Good choice. Good choice. Andrew says Cranky. King K. Rule, of course. You know what? I was actually gonna put him as one of these. If I wasn't trying to keep it simple, I would have absolutely put King K. Rule. How is Dixie Kong not your favorite? I see what you did there. I was like, I don't remember that one, but I see. You know, I think Candy Kong is more of a Dixie Kong if you put it that way. Whiskey Mountain says, one last night. Got something fixed at work today. Maybe it's my lucky week. Hashtag never win. Well, Adriana, it might be your lucky week. Congrats on getting something fixed at work. Was it Alzheimer's? Sorry, I'm just messing with you. By the way, if y'all don't know, Adriana does some really great work with Alzheimer's research and fundraising. I almost actually messed up and went back to the wrong background when I was messing with my green screen earlier. I was like, I almost went back to this one right here. So, but yes, that's all. She's doing the Lord's work to do that. But yeah, maybe it's your lucky week. We'll see. King Kong, come in. Is there any other real Kong? I saw no. It was the licorice taste that I did not like in Armida. Armida. I didn't like the drain cleaner. Okay, y'all, be nice. Not that like I bought this bottle. I wasn't sent it, so. What football game is there? Are you listening? No. It's like literally outside my window. Like it's like I live near a football stadium. It's nothing major, but there's a football stadium that like I can. It's a college football stadium, but like small college, not like not like I almost said UCLA, but I don't know. I don't know football, y'all. I'm sorry. That's the reason that I'm here and not watching Thursday Night Football right now. I could be watching it on Amazon Prime, but I'm not. I'm here. But y'all go watch it, for posterity's sake. All right. Anyways. So she said, it was a bit of code to analyze one tiny bit of one tiny experiment towards Alzheimer's. Not exactly a cure. Well, every little bit counts. We appreciate all the efforts that are going into that. So, all right. Let's move on to our final pour of the night. Cranky Kong. So, Tony, I just do it as a joke. They don't pay me. I mean, they do, but they don't pay me for that. All right. Cranky Kong. It's the last one, and then we're going to go through and we're going to rank these. Ooh, very different nose compared to all of them. The orange is gone. There's none of that orange zesty not zest, orange sweetness in there. This one goes a little bit like This one is more oak forward. I'm getting a lot of elements of like not necessarily that I can tell it's like finished with certain oaks, but I can tell that this one is emphasizing the whiskey itself. It's not necessarily as focused on the finishing. I think this one to me is a really solid base whiskey based on the nose alone. Again, I haven't tasted it yet, but it just smells like a really solid like bourbon. It would be a bourbon if I could guess, but all right, let's give Cranky a try. Cheers. Definitely wood forward. I think that was the Vantage. I think I can tell that that one is emphasizing the different woods. There's a bit of like a sour wood on it, which when I reviewed it, I said that the Vantage had a bit of like a bit of like a sour wood, and sometimes I associate that with like a cedar wood, but this one actually doesn't use cedar. It actually uses Mizunara cask. So this one is a blend, like I said, Mizunara, French oak, and toasted American. But I think that Mizunara cask gives it like an interesting like tartness that I think is so recognizable that this one like I picked it up immediately upon tasting it. So I do really like that one. I think it's similar to, if you want to compare it to something that maybe some people have had, it's similar to like a Penelope Architect series. You know how they do the wood experiments. It is kind of similar like that. The way that the wood is implemented into the flavor, it's similar. It's like it's more of like a overlaid on top of it, kind of like a new like fresh wood layer on top of a really good whiskey already. So it's definitely recognizable as focusing on the wood. It's just, how does it compare to all four of these, which we're about to find out, because I'm going to go back through and I'm going to rank every single one of these and pick out which one is my favorite. I think I know. The only ones I don't necessarily think I know is Donkey and Diddy. One's Dovetail probably, and one is, shoot, what was the other one? Maybe I did. We'll taste by through them. We'll find them out. Well, I'm just getting ads for it everywhere, so I gotta be the ad too. Well, you said it, not me. Thank you. Perry is here. He was also live earlier tonight. If y'all missed it, he goes live at 5 p.m. Pacific. Whiskey Dick goes on at 6 p.m. Pacific, and I go on at 7 p.m. Pacific. So thank y'all for watching. Hopefully all of us. Perry said, been putting Eden to bed, but I'm here for the rest of the stream. Hope everyone is staying safe and doing well. Yes, I didn't say at the top of the stream, but everyone that is in Kentucky, or not Kentucky, I was thinking about Perry. Everyone that is in Florida or in the path of the storm, I know it's heading up through, Georgia and the Carolinas after this. So stay safe. If there's evacuation orders, I don't know if those have already probably been lifted by now, but be safe. Look out for your family. Get somewhere, watch out for trees. Watch out for flooding. Stay on higher ground. I don't know. I'm just giving you the basic advice on surviving a hurricane. I used to live in Charleston. I've survived, some minor ones. Never been hit by a major one, but just stay safe and put your family and your friends and your safety first versus, your whiskey collection that's sitting in the garage and you're like, God, I really hope I don't lose that. That's important. Take your special bottles with you in your emergency backpack. But otherwise, get out and stay safe. That's my PSA for that. I got a commercial in here. I got a PSA in here. What else do y'all want? A giveaway? Oh, yeah. That's coming at the end of the stream. By the way, there's about 15 minutes left on the giveaway if y'all want to get in. Like I said, in addition to these samples, I'm also giving away a challenge coin. Bourbon by challenge coin. No match value. That's going to be included in the box you get of samples. Just make sure. Jeffrey Wack is in the house. Y'all make sure to check out Jeffrey Wack's new channel he started with our friends Kelsey and oh gosh, I did not make that live stream. I just subscribed today. If someone wants to drop the link to Jeffrey's new channel, it's something like Hello Again Whiskey Friends, I believe. I think that's the name of the channel. But y'all make sure to go check them out. I love seeing new creators in this space all the time. Thank you, Brandon, for reminding people about the giveaway. I appreciate you, man. Rex Lugo's in the house, and he's in for the Wheel of Whiskey. He says, hey, Clifton, can't hang out tonight, but I'll catch you on the replay. Salute. Salute to you, my friend. And good luck. Reach out to me if you catch the replay and you ended up being the winner. So cheers to you. All right. Adriana said, if I win a challenge coin, I'm buying one more so I can have a complete set of 4. Well, they might can do that. I'm still working on getting the Facebook store set up. I want to list them there to make it easy for people to buy them. But yeah, definitely appreciate all the support there. Thank you, Brandon, for dropping his link. I'll start my Whiskey Tube channel when I get the speakeasy done. Still a work in progress. Color me intrigued. Is it like at your home, like your home bar is like a speakeasy, or like you actually build a speakeasy that people can go to? Also, where do you live? Also, can I come? All right, enough with the questions. Let's go back through all four of these, rank them, confirm which one I think is what, and then we'll do the giveaway and then we'll do the reveal. So let's go back to Donkey Kong. This is the one I started with. Didn't have much of a nose to start out with, but let's see if it's opened up a bit. Not really. It's falling flat on the nose. It does have those orange notes that I got on the others. Yeah. I don't know. Something about the nose of this one just doesn't quite impress me. It just doesn't smell unique. I'm not getting any of the finishing element. I'm not getting any of the, telling if it's a bourbon or a rye. Really not much on the nose. But I remember liking this on the palate. Let's go back to it. Mm-hmm. That one tastes great. It actually tastes high proof too. I can tell us the proof of that one. If I had to guess, that one's the Dovetail. It's really high proof. Got a nice finish. Yeah, it's just the only thing it's lacking on is the nose. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come in last place because, that palate, it's impactful and it packs a punch. Dovetail, you're teetering on second or third place now. Let's go to Diddy. Brandon asked a question. Have any of these bottles been open for a long time? Not really. The oldest one that's been open is the Armida. This one's been open for probably about 5 or 6 months. But everything else has been opened in the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So yeah, they're all fresh. They're either a fresh crack or they've been open for like less than 2 weeks. So Armida's the only one that has a bit of it's been open for a while. And Joseph makes a good point. I don't drink the nose or the label or the bottle. That's a great point. It's a good point. I'm building a speakeasy downstairs in the downstairs office. And yes, you are always welcome. And sometimes Whiskey Mountains, but only if she will admit rye is good. Well, good luck on that one, man. The proofs on the bottles, yeah, I'll run through them real quick. Dovetail is 124.7. Armida is 113.54. Seagrass is 119.12. And Vantage is 114.44. So the highest proof is the Dovetail. The lowest proof is the Armida. All right, let's try Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong, definitely a rye whiskey. And definitely some of that funkiness with the rum. Man, that is just such an interesting whiskey. Every sip I take of Diddy, it just changes up. It just is. There's something new to explore every time I try this whiskey. It's hard not to put that in first place. I didn't think I was going to change my opinion about Seagrass, by the way. If y'all thought I was going to come on here and be like, Seagrass sucks. No, I don't think so. Diddy right now is in first place, but that may change. Sam brings up a question. Do you have an opinion on the value of Barrell related to other offerings that have similar quality? I do have an opinion. I was talking to my friend Todd Cooper, who is one of my top tier patrons on the channel. I was talking to him last night. So if you didn't know, my $50 tier of Patreon gets a monthly subscription box tasting where I will send you a flight of 5 different whiskeys. We'll hop on a hangout. We'll taste through them. Sometimes we'll do it blind. Sometimes we'll curate it based on what I know you like. But yeah, Todd and I did the subscription box tasting last night. And I actually sent him a sample of the Barrell Vantage. We had this discussion. And I think that Barrell, for the longest time, confused me. And I think it's because all the batches, all the releases, all the private selects, I was overwhelmed. And I think it took me a long time before I even was willing to buy a bottle of Barrell. But then I learned that their website is super awesome. They actually lay out what everything is. So if something says like batch 34, you can look it up on their website, see exactly what it is. If it's a private barrel, they all have a code on it. If you search that code up, you see exactly what it is. So I've actually bookmarked the link to their website in my phone. So whenever I'm at a liquor store and I see a private barrel or I see a barrel release I've never heard of, I'll just pull it up, and it's literally just like a couple clicks away to find out what each one is. So that one, that changed my opinion originally about Barrell. But to go to your question, these are all $80 MSRP, just by the way. The Seagrass, the Dovetail, the Armida, and the Vantage, all should be around $80. I think that's a fair price because what I think Barrell does best is blending. They are not a distillery. They never claimed to be a distillery. They are sourcing whiskey from all over the country, sometimes all over the world, and they're making these really cool, interesting blends. I mean, each of these is such an interesting, different blend. So I think when it comes to that, for $80, you're getting something so unique like that. I say yes, it's worth it. Now, will you like all of them? No. Some of them are Tennessee forward. Some of them are rye forward. Some of them are, fresh wood forward. I don't think they're all meant for everyone. I think they're all meant for a different person or, someone with a very, very varied palate. So that's my thought on that. I hope that makes sense. I do think they're worth the price. Do I think they're worth seeking out, every single batch of Barrell? The different batch, like whether batch 34, 35, 36? Not necessarily. But these ongoing releases that I'm doing tonight, I think they all bring something interesting and unique to the table. And I recommend trying all of them. So hopefully that helps. Swan is here. Hello, Swan. And Tony Bag of Donuts. Good to see y'all. Sorry for the little bit of a rant there, but we got a good question there. All right, let's go to Dixie. Diddy has already beat Donkey with my ranking. Dixie, okay, let me go back to the nose. Dixie's the one that I got that orange on the nose. A lot more interesting of a nose than Donkey Kong. It's got some a little bit smoky too. There's a little bit of a smokiness. I really like the nose on this one, and I know that I think Dixie is Armida. But the nose on Dixie is so damn good. And I don't think it's just the minerality that's throwing me off about it. I think it might be that Amaro cask. It has that little bit of that bitter element too. So you're combining bitter with mineral. And both of those are not my favorite flavor profiles. I'm intrigued by the pear brandy. I do get a little bit of that, the pear sweetness on it. And I love a good rum finish. But I think those two are just too out of my element, and they're too not my favorite flavor profiles, that I think, unfortunately, Dixie may be my last place. Love the nose on it. It smells great. Just is not up my alley in terms of palate. Sam says, thanks for explaining nuances. Yeah, again, just my opinion. Again, not represented by the brand. They have sent me some of these bottles for review, but I always give my honest opinion, and I've always been that way. Adriana says, there are some really good points about Barrell. I just get annoyed at how they've confused my spelling. Oh, my phone autocorrects the real Barrell with this one. They've literally messed up my phone. Okay, Cliffy, you gave us a Seagrass rundown. Now, what is your opinion on ice in bourbon? I love a little ice in my glass. Y'all are trying to bring up y'all trying to make me be controversial tonight. Y'all are looking for some drama. I'm not ready to bring that drama. I will come back to that question. Thank you again for the super chat. You get another entry on the Wheel of Whiskey. But that's a great question. I will come back to it once I've got my ranking locked in. How does that sound? Promise I'll come back. Tony is here. He says, hello, just got here. How's the flight going? I'm still moving out and into my new temporary home, so all I've got is a bottle of Early Times Bottle of Bottle in hand. Well, I know you had that last week, and I'm surprised you still have it. I'm surprised you didn't finish it. But cheers to you, Tony. Hope the move is going well, and thank you so much for your super chat. All right. This cheers is to Tony and Nimrax. I do like Cranky. Cranky, I love a good oak forward bourbon or whiskey. This one, it's dry because of how oak forward this is. And I like that. Some people may not like a dry bourbon. Or actually, if this is a Vantage, it is a bourbon. So I'm not wrong by saying bourbon. It's dry. Can y'all hear that applause and screaming outside? Someone just did very well. Yeah, this is really good. It's spicy. It's oaky. This is definitely top 3. Now, ranking, we'll find out in just a second. That one's tough because it's a really good nose. It's a really good palate. How does it compare to Donkey Kong, which is our first one? Donkey, remember, had not great. I couldn't smell it much on the nose. Donkey has a very, very minor nose. But Donkey had a good taste. Donkey has a really good taste. Really good finish, too. The proof is obvious on Donkey. which is most likely Dovetail. That is really, really tough. Because that's a really fantastic whiskey on the palate. The only thing that hurts Donkey is the nose. But like Joseph said, I don't buy a whiskey to smell it. I don't buy a whiskey to look at the bottle. I buy a whiskey to drink it. But I can't dismiss the fact that for me, I don't drink just to drink. I drink to have the whole experience. I love nosing my whiskeys. Even when I'm drinking out of just a rocks glass, I still nose it. I still, really take in every element of it. So that's kind of hindering Donkey a little bit for me. Donkey and Cranky are so freaking close. Almost choked. I'm thinking too much about it. I gotta lock it in. I have opinions. All right. My order is locked in. Last chance for the giveaway. If anyone wants to get an extra entry on the Wheel of Whiskey, we're going to be doing that in the next 5 minutes. Like I said, win a blind flight of everything we tried here tonight, as well as a Bourbon Bites Challenge coin, which will be thrown into your hand-delivered box of samples. Metal, gold, fits over a Glen. I might as well show y'all how it fits over a Glen. So just put it on there, leave it there for hours. Your whiskey is going to be fine. So I really like them. I think they're fun. I have these from all over different whiskey tubers. I have a Women of Whiskey ones here. I have a Whiskey Mountains one here. I have an ADHD whiskey one here. I love these. So if you want to get a Bourbon Bites one, now's your chance. All right, I saw some comments about Topo Chico. There we go. Ben says I like Seagrass with Topo Chico, like a fruity water. You know what? Have not tried that, Ben, but I actually am very intrigued, and I might this weekend. I think I'm going to try that this weekend. Thank you for if you're here next week, remind me and I'll let you know how it was. Because that sounds really good. People have told me they've mixed Seagrass with lots of different things and they've loved it. I swear I heard someone say they mixed it with like Sierra Mist or Mountain Dew one time. I don't know how I feel about that, but some people said they liked it. So, you drink the whiskey the way you like it. I still say if they spell it Barrel, I will say it with Barrell. I can see that. Alex is in. He said Donkey Kong Country 3 is better than Donkey Kong Country 2, which is better than Donkey Kong Country 1, which is better than Donkey Kong 64. I have not played 3. I will agree 2 is better than 1. 1 is nostalgic to me because I grew up playing 1 over and over and over again on my Nintendo 64 or my Super Nintendo. I think it's all better than 64, obviously. I have nostalgia about Donkey Kong Country 1, but I do agree that Donkey Kong Country 2 is the better game. Have not played 3, so I'm not disagreeing with you. Was a great summer drink. Interesting. And that's a great point. I've heard the Mountain Dew was originally a whiskey mixer, so it's a pretty damn good mixer. I just have not bought Mountain Dew. I grew up in South Carolina. Like, Mountain Dew is just like the drink of the state, and I never really got the hype with it. I don't know. I'm more of just like a dark soda drinker. I don't drink light sodas very often, but Perry, I know you got opinions on that. You know what? It's been a way long. I played that game once ever, so I honestly probably don't have a good opinion to have on that. Perry, like they're trying to get me with the controversy tonight, like we were talking about Hocus Pocus on your stream and Halloween Town. Like they're just trying to cancel us tonight, man. I swear that must be the theme tonight. Cancel us. I don't know if Bill got canceled. Probably. All right, so let's announce my ranking. What my final ranking is, and then we'll do the Wheel of Whiskey. But before that, we had a question I got to answer. Going back to this comment. Opinion on ice and bourbon. I love a little ice in my glass. My opinion is what I said earlier. Drink it how you want to drink it. I'm not here to judge. I would never judge anyone for adding ice, water. The only thing I would really judge them for if they kept their whiskey in the freezer, because I've been guilty of that. I've done that in the past, but I feel like if you're trying to really taste a whiskey, there's no point putting it in the freezer because you're going to lose some of those elements that you get from a room temperature whiskey. So don't put the bottle in the freezer. But pouring some whiskey over ice, I think in the right setting, I love it on cask strength whiskeys. I love cask strength whiskeys on ice. Elijah Craig barrel proof. I do it with some Knob Creek single barrels. Booker's I do over ice. So absolutely nothing wrong with that. I will say if you are reviewing a whiskey and you're really trying to give good tasting notes, I think you are doing a disservice by doing it on ice. Because I feel like I said about the freezer thing, like drinking something colder, you're not picking up as many tasty notes. I think that's like a proven thing. Like you don't taste as many things when something is cold, like in terms of pulling out flavors. Not to say you don't enjoy it more over ice, because you could enjoy the experience more over ice. But when you're looking for flavor notes, it's a lot easier to do that with a neat pour or a pour with just a little bit of water. And what I do I have it up here? Oh, here it is. Sometimes if I want to proof something down, I'll use this little dropper here, and this is just water, and I'll add a few drops of water. So if you're really trying to review a whiskey, I think doing it with some water is better than doing it with ice. However, I say that I've done a podcast where I drank some whiskey over ice. So it's definitely just up to you. But I think, and that was always, I was comparing it to the neat pour as well. So hopefully that answers that question. Make sure behind the chat. Whiskey Man says I never got into the hype of it, but everyone else drank it so much. Which one are we talking about? I'm sorry. I forget. I got behind in the chat and I missed what you were talking about. Golden Eye. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where it's at, man. I agree completely. By the way, I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, Scott. I apologize if I missed you earlier. It actually mellows out the sweetness and the citrus brightness pops a little. For sure. Oh, Mountain Dew. Okay, I was like, what whiskey is she talking about? Mountain Dew that everyone else drinks. Yeah, I didn't get it either. Thank God I'm not alone with that. Glad he's my feral. I just called you feral. I am so sorry. That is horrible. My fellow South Carolinian. God damn. I'm never gonna live that one down. All right, let's stop chit chatting. Let's rank these and let's do the wheel of whiskey before I start blushing. All right, my number one. Well, let's go backwards. My last place. It's got to be Dixie. Dixie is the one. Love the nose on Dixie. Smells great, but has that minerality and has that the funky. What was I saying? The weird thing about it. The bitter note. Just a feral halfling. Yeah. By the way, y'all watch Dungeons and Drams every Tuesday night. I go live with Adriana. I go live with Whiskey Mountains, the Whiskey Dick, the Mash and Drum, and Rock Gut Review, and Hugging the Cactus. We do a fun Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Check out Dungeons and Drams on YouTube. Kathy Joe coming in with a diss. By the way, good to see you, Kathy Joe. Might be a little feral too. Oh my God, you're right. It's Mondays. I apologize. It is Mondays. We moved it to Mondays because of me. I can't do Tuesday nights anymore, so Monday nights, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Thank you so much. Come watch us make fools of ourselves. I am a half-elf warlock named Nobilis. He likes to shoot lasers out of his chest. I'll leave you with that. That's just basically my character. Nobilis who shoots lasers out of his chest. You just gotta watch it. You gotta be there. All right, ranking. Dixie's last place. Cranky is actually gonna be my third place. Cranky tastes great. Has a great nose. It just doesn't quite impress me as much as Donkey does. I had to think about that. I was like, oh wait, shit, am I wrong about that? No, I'm right. Yeah. So, last place is Dixie. Third place is Cranky. Second place is Donkey. Donkey had no nose whatsoever. Could not really smell much off of it. But palate-wise, it blew me away. It's delicious. It's high proof. Just a really solid bourbon. And my first place is Diddy. So Diddy is the one that I think is Seagrass. I just think it's such a complex, such an interesting, and it changes every time you try it. It's high proof. It's just checking all the boxes for me. I really like Diddy Kong. All right. And while it's on the record, before I do the giveaway, I think Dixie is Armida. I think Cranky is Vantage. I think Donkey is Dovetail. And I think Diddy is Seagrass. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Now it's time for the giveaway. Did I do what? Did I mess something up? Probably. Tell me what I did. Let me get the wheel of whiskey ready. By the way, which one do you guys think is going to be my winner? Do you think I'm right with my order? Do you think that I am wrong? Do you think I got something mixed up? Let me know. Because I could have just as easily gotten something wrong. You know? You never know with these. Counting up the votes now. Thank y'all all so much for entering the giveaway. I appreciate y'all so much. Just supporting the channel, whether you're supporting it there via the super chats or you're supporting it on Patreon, which by the way, the link to that's down in the description below. Um, seeing y'all support week to week and month to month just really just blows my mind. I cannot believe how amazing this community is and how amazing you guys are. So pat yourselves on the back, you know. Don't pat yourself too long while I get myself together, but pat yourself on the back because y'all are awesome. And y'all know y'all are awesome. I just wanted to remind you how awesome you are. All right. I think we have the giveaway. Thank you, Donnie, for dropping that info there. Let me go ahead and pull this off the screen. Yeah, so if you guys want to access things like our monthly hangout, which we do one Saturday night every month, or join our after party hangout, which is the $10 level, which happens at the very end of this stream. We do that over on Patreon. We actually do it on Discord, so you can join our Discord server. You can just go to bourbonbites.com and find a link to it there. But everyone $10 and up on Patreon gets access to our after party hangout. By the way, I'm doing the glitchy thing right now, so hopefully I look okay to y'all. But Kathy Joe says, I don't trust anything after the last flight's results. Yeah, I'm really curious to hear what you think about that. Your samples are on the way, by the way. All right. Let me shuffle this a couple times. Are y'all ready for the Wheel of Whiskey? Let's go ahead and get this pulled up so you guys have a chance to win this flight and challenge coin. All right, here we go. All right. Everyone has been entered. Don't worry, I double checked. Let's spin the Wheel of Whiskey. Congratulations, Nimrax. Wow, that's awesome. It's like your first, I think it's your first time watching a live stream and you are here. Now, you're not the one you're not in Thailand, right? That was the other guy. That was Marcus, right? Hopefully you're in the US. Because if you are in the US, I will hand deliver you these samples. So, congratulations. Message me on whether you find me on Instagram, shoot me an email, contact@bourbonbites.com. Just with a way to prove that it's you. But you are in the US. Glad to hear. So yeah, message me on Instagram. Instagram is @bourbonbites. Like I said, or email me contact@bourbonbites.com. Same way it's spelled on my channel. You have just won these samples and the challenge coins. How cool! I'm glad to have you here. And Whiskey Mountain said he did the magic of I never win. Yeah, it does work. Don Nishida can tell you. Awesome. Okay, y'all ready for the reveal of what's what? Because we can't do that before. Can't do that before we end the stream tonight. Trust me, sometimes I've been close to ending the stream before I reveal my answers, which is so embarrassing. The most embarrassing thing to happen on this channel, other than the explosion last week or the week before, whenever that was I did my countdown of my top 10 whiskeys of the year last year on New Year's Eve. Did not announce what number one was. I just literally did not announce the first place winner. And I just ended the stream and just went to bed. And then I woke up the next morning. I was like, holy crap. So that was embarrassing. But we're not going to be embarrassing. We're going to reveal these right now. All right. The explosion was awesome. Yeah. Kathy Joe says, I'm so excited to see my judgment. They just came in today, and I'm hoping to have my results by the weekend. Well, please let us know. I'm so excited to hear that. I'm really curious to see if you had a similar experience I did. That'd be really cool. All right. Let's reveal the ranking. So, my last place, Dixie. What I think is Armida. I think it just has a really great nose. It smells great, but it does not follow up in the tasting category. Dixie Kong, my last place, was Armida, 113.54 proof. So, yeah, this one just didn't do it for me. The taste was so unique, but not in a way that I enjoyed. The bitter, the mineral, just not my jam. And, I've drank half this bottle. I can find uses for it. Actually, I put it with lemonade, and it actually tastes really good with lemonade. Otherwise, just doesn't quite do it for me. So last placed is the Barrell Armida. Third place, this is Cranky Kong. This is the one that I thought smelled really good and tasted good. I think this one, Cranky, is for the wood lovers. It's for the ones that love seeing the different elements that a finished toasted, maybe even some toasted elements there. Someone that just really loves how a dry, oaky bourbon can be. It's solid. Going back to a question we got earlier tonight, what do you think Barrell's worth the money? This one in particular, I think, if you're going for that woody, oaky flavor profile, there's other ones that I would prefer. And I think that's why I ended up in third place tonight. There's like Knob Creek, single barrel, Adrana knows. Even some more oaky, some other stuff. I mean, what are some other oaky whiskeys that are out there? I mean, I'm trying to think like what other ones come to mind when I think of like a very well-oaked bourbon. I know some Bartons give me that same impression. I mean, even Heaven Hill or Henry McKenna 10-year as well. So to me, this has that wood element, but it's more of like a new wood. It's definitely like a dry wood, and it's good. It's just not my favorite. So my third place, Knob Creek would be better. Yeah, Knob Creek would be better. Elijah Craig 18, good point. Now that's a very expensive bottle, so it's hard to make that comparison when you're comparing to that. But yeah, great point. All right, so my third place is Cranky Kong. So tonight, third place is Barrell Vantage, like we thought. So that was the newest release. It's the one that's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizunara, French, and toasted American oak. Really good, just not quite up to par with these other two, in my opinion. Again, it's all personal opinion. Let's move on to my second place. Second place was Donkey Kong. Now, this is the shocker, because Donkey, the nose there's nothing there on the nose. And I don't know if it's just me. Those of you that are sitting there with Dovetail, which I don't know for sure, but I think this is Dovetail. Those of you there sitting there with a glass of Dovetail, knowing that this is high proof, like I said, mine is 124.7. Are you getting that much on the nose? It's just, all of these have had really great noses, but not much going on with this glass. It's a new bottle. They're all kind of new bottles. Yeah, so anyways, my second place is the shocker because it doesn't smell great, but damn does it taste good. Long finish, high proof, lots of things I love about a bourbon. My second place, which is Donkey, is Barrell Dovetail, 124.7 proof. So as I predicted, this is the highest proof. Tastes fantastic, but it leaves something to be desired on the nose. Whereas all these other ones, like I've enjoyed smelling as much as I've enjoyed drinking them. This one not so much. Or even like Dixie or the Armida. I enjoyed smelling that one more than I enjoyed drinking it. So to me, I know Joseph made the comment earlier, but when I'm enjoying a whiskey and experiencing a whiskey, I'm smelling it and I'm tasting it. So not that they're equal. Like I think taste is like 75% of it, whereas nosing is 25% of it. But still, Donkey Kong is a great second place. Don't have it poured, but I remember it being a crazy adventure on the palate. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely is. James Taylor, cheers, man. Good to see you. Thanks for staying there. So, thanks for staying there. What the fuck? Oh, Cliffy's in the house now. All right, thanks for being here, is what I meant to say. Have court in the morning, but I do have a 21 unopened. A batch 21 of Barrell. Or the 2021 New Year. I don't know what you mean. Like I said, Barrell's kind of confusing. But cheers. Good luck in court. I hope like it's not something serious, but I don't know how to respond to that. Which Tony named it. My winner tonight, my first place, the one that just took me on a journey from nose to palate again, to palate a third and fourth time. Every time I tried this whiskey, it's so dang different, but so good. My first place Barrell ongoing release this year is Barrell Seagrass. Diddy Kong, 119.12 proof. Man. I just love it. I know it's not for everyone. I know not everyone is going to love a rye finished in, Martinique rum, Madeira, or apricot brandy cask. I know. I don't think this whiskey is made for everyone. But this whiskey's made for me. This is how I feel about it. I love it. I gotta try it with some Topo Chico. Almost said Mountain Dew. Maybe some Mountain Dew. Fuck it, why not? I got a whole new bottle. Like I said, this is my third bottle. I'm on my third bottle of it. So, Barrell Seagrass is the winner. What do you guys think of the flight? I'm really curious to hear from our Nimrax winner of the giveaway what he thinks of it, or he or she. I'm sorry, don't know, but what they think of it. I am really not surprised. I'm not surprised. I kind of thought it would come out this way, but I am surprised that Dovetail beat Vantage, because I think Vantage, when I first tried it, I really loved it. But compared to Dovetail, I think Dovetail is an OG. It's just amazing. It's stood the test of time. It's been the oldest release they've had. Seagrass is a newcomer, but man, does it impress me. Vantage, third place, not bad. They're all really good. So, unless Armida, I'd pass on, but that's just me. All right. So thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to please hit the thumbs up button on your way out. I do really, really appreciate every thumbs up. Again, if you're not yet subscribed, please consider hitting the button. I go live every week at the same time. If you want to be notified when I go live, if you want to get the bell notification when I go live, hit the bell and make sure to click all notifications. You can join Patreon, patreon.com/bourbonbites if you want to support the show. If you want to join our Discord community, it's open to everyone. Just go to bourbonbites.com. You'll see the link to it there. But most of all, thank y'all so much for watching tonight. Thank you, everyone who entered the giveaway. And thank you to all of you amazing chatters here tonight. So the Blinded by the Flight series is over tonight, but there are so many great things in store. So stay tuned. Come back next week. And until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites. Cheers, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.